This is a video about motivation and the lack thereof after waking up. Hello, this is Wake Up with a video about motivation and the lack thereof after you wake up. One of the two biggest problems that remain after waking up is motivation, or rather the lack of motivation. Once your ego is not in the driver's seat anymore, once the ambitions are gone and the fears and whatever drove you before, whatever made you go or not do something before, is gone once you wake up. It's just gone, and the further you go along the spectrum towards enlightenment and beyond, motivation disappears more and more, because the ego disappears more and more, or is less and less important, except in the love phase. Watch my video about stages or types of consciousness. There's one stage I call the love phase, where you feel universal love for everything and everyone, and there you have sometimes some kind of motivation, especially if it happens within a religious context. But otherwise, there is no motivation anymore, because all motivation to do something or not to do something was and is ego. Now it's finally time to start the Facebook group we were talking about in some of the feeds. It will come up any day now. And motivation and fear are two of the topics we will be discussing there together. The Facebook group is about day-to-day life after waking up. Waking up is the first step on the way to consciousness, awareness, whatever you call it. And it's really to enter a new world in some ways. It's this gateless gate thing. You pass through the gateless gate and nothing changes and everything changes. And then you wonder, okay, now what? What am I supposed to do now? I have no inclination anymore to do anything, actually. It's all meaningless now. No more motivation to do anything. And still, most people, most of us, we have to do something. We are somehow bound in a larger social context, work, family, and so on. In the spiritual scene, there is this thing about if you really let go and surrender totally and trust the divine, then it will take care of you. If you ask a lot of people and read a lot of books about honest enlightenment and awakening, then you see that this is not always so. So it might not be a great idea to just quit your job and live under a bridge and trust the divine will take care of you. In some countries this is easier than in others. In India or in other warm countries you can just go live in the mountains in a cave or in the forest or so on. But in colder countries like Germany, Sweden, Canada, Finland, Scotland, wherever, this can get very cold. Plus usually you have running costs that cannot be cancelled from one day to another, or maybe obligations and anything that has to do with family, kids for example. So the question is what to do when the motivation is gone. I can tell you now that it will come back and go again and so on. It fluctuates like so many things, but it will never be as strong as it was before enlightenment or before awakening. Even during mini awakening, people still have a lot of ambition actually and motivation. That's most of the motivation teachers had mini awakenings, but they're not awake. But once you're awake, it's very hard to be motivated and to motivate others. Motivation or motivate to do what? Motivate whom? So this is what I would like to discuss with you in this video and in the comments below, and also in the upcoming Facebook group. Okay, Please tell me in the comments below what you think about motivation and the lack thereof, and if you have experience with it. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing or joining me on Patreon, and see you very soon.